A family abandoned their disabled child. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I think we should have a look at this Reddit post. This is, am I the a-hole? Would I be the a-hole if I told my son why his bio parents gave up custody of him? Okay, so this is going to be quite a confronting one. So I, female 38, adopted my son Lucas, male 17, when he was 3 years old. Lucas doesn't remember a life when I wasn't his parent. Okay, so he was young when he got adopted, 3. The circumstances behind Lucas's adoption were emotionally draining. Biologically, Lucas is the son of my older sister, Jennifer, 41, and her husband, Derek, 42. Lucas was their first child, and Jenny and Derek did want to start a family. But when Lucas was 3, he was diagnosed with a chronic condition. People with his condition can usually lead independent, relatively normal lives. His condition only affected his mobility. And with the extent of his condition, he needs to use a wheelchair for the rest of his life. So anyone in a wheelchair, I think, will be pretty disgusted at hearing what these people did. Jenny and Derek said that having a child in a wheelchair wouldn't fit into their image of a dream family. Now, the question is, I would not be surprised if there are people like this. I mean, we're in a society now, particularly in America, particularly here in Australia too, where they're willing to terminate babies up until the day before they're due, or even the day they're due, I guess, if they're not perfect, if there's something wrong. So, yeah, that's the society we're in, everyone. People give more of a shit about a possum that's shitting and spreading disease over someone's house because it's protected than humans. And I speak as a father of a special needs child. So they were considering surrendering custody of Lucas, but I decided I would adopt him. They were going to just abandon him. 3 years old, they were going to abandon him. I don't get people. I do not get people. This is all about the image, isn't it? It's all about the image, what you present to others. It's all just bullshit, isn't it? Because life gets messy, life gets real. You deal with it. And you're richer for it. So Jenny and Derek signed custody over to me and I became his legal parent. Jenny and Derek regularly sent me money to help cover Lucas's expenses. Regularly sent me money until they had another child, saying they could no longer afford to send me money. They now have 2 children, 14 and 12. I live approximately 3 hours drive away from Jenny and Derek, and since I adopted Lucas, they hardly made the effort to see me and only saw him during the holidays, or to see him. So they didn't care. It's no different to any other cousin, I guess. They wanted their happy little perfect family. Lucas lives happily with us. He lives with me, my husband 39, and our daughter 10. He knows he's adopted, but I've never told him who his biological parents were or why he was adopted. He knows that we love him and that regardless of DNA, he's our son. Well, he's pretty much similar to the DNA to the mother anyway. At least there's a relationship there. That's all that matters, isn't it? That's all that matters. He never expressed an interest in finding out who his biological parents are. I made it clear to him that if he changes his mind, it won't hurt our feelings and we can talk about it. Recently, he showed me a Facebook message he received off Derek. I was shocked. Derek dropped the bomb on Lucas that he and Jenny are his real parents and that I adopted him when he was 3. Is this real? I mean, this is the problem with any of these online things. They could be completely BS. They really could be completely BS. That's how it could be. But, I mean, that's just nuts. So disrespectful, isn't it? I mean, this is why you want to control access to social media for your kids. Honestly, our poor children, they've got parents that are IT switched on, so we lock everything down. They never discussed telling Lucas about this with me. Yeah, that's very disrespectful. So to say I was angry was an understatement. I called Jenny and asked her what the hell was going on. She brushed it off and said Derek was drunk and sent a message on a whim. So he was drunk. They abandoned the kid. They were ready to give him up to anyone, abandoned him because he didn't fit their perfect ideal, and then he drunkenly sends this message. I told Jenny that what Derek did was inappropriate and inconsiderate of Lucas. She said that Derek can do what he wants. I can't shield Lucas from the truth. And he has mixed feelings. He's been talking about meeting up with Jenny and Derek, but would I be the a-hole if I told Lucas that they gave him up because of his disability? I feel like Lucas deserves the full truth, but I don't want this information to harm his mental health. Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, wow. Shit. Imagine that. Let's have a look to see what some of the people have said, guys. Well, first off, I want to give you props here. Yep. I'm adopted and never ever wanted any info on my biological ancestors, but the fact that his aunt and uncle are biological parents is a whole other dynamic. I would consult with a family therapist and perhaps you and Lucas can meet with them. I agree that Lucas should be told. You and your husband should do that and only with the guidance of a therapist. Okay, they're all saying get help. I mean, yeah, you need another party in there. If he's drunkenly sending text messages. What's this one? Why is this in red? Is that like some what, hang on, what's this mean? I'm not a Starry Award. Someone probably paid money for this stupid thing. This is Reddit. You know, people pay money for this. They waste good money. You know what it is? Because this is a left-wing bloody website. These probably all losers from, you know, I hate work will piss away their money on stupid, frivolous Reddit gifts and prizes to people and then wonder why they can't afford a house or they can't afford to live. They'll bitch and moan about all that stuff and go, it's my capitalism, when it's them just being stupid. Anyway, I'm going off topic here. Yes and no, the assistance of a therapist is never a bad idea when dealing with difficult info, but there's a couple of reasons this may not be the right approach. First, if Lucas doesn't already have a therapist, it will take time to get an appointment. Lucas has the info now. If he wants to an explanation, he should not be left to speculate and ferment for weeks. That's not going to make it any better. Yeah, I mean, he's probably, how old is he now? How old is he? Okay, he's 17. So he's pretty much an adult. So you should tell him the truth. Should tell him the truth. Tell him what happened. You know, just say what it is. Perhaps most importantly, he's 17 and has used a wheelchair his whole life. He knows how he's viewed. He has grown up with a full spectrum of attitudes towards disability. He probably already suspects that his disability contributed to his relinquishment, especially if he knows that the adoption timeline aligns with the diagnostic timeline. He deserves to be treated with respect here. He's almost an adult, and in my experience, kids with disabilities grow up a little faster in this domain. If he wants the info now, he should get the info from the mother who loves him and knows him best. A therapist appointment can still be scheduled, as it may help him work through the aftermath, but he should not be forced to wait. If anything, a delay may make him anxious that the backstory is even worse since mum is afraid to broach it. Yeah, I think this is, you know, how do we do this? There we go. I gave it a likey thing. You can tell I'm not a Redditor, guys. Okay? I'm not a Redditor. I'm married and have kids. Cha-ching! So there we go, guys. I mean, I think that's a good advice. He's 17 years old. He should be told the truth. So let's have a talk about this guy. I mean, it's kind of disgusting, the whole idea of people abandoning a child because it doesn't fit in with their perfect image. But people do that all the time. It's the, you know, why do you think there are no Downs kids born in Iceland? It's not because it doesn't happen, because they're all terminated, guys. You know, here's the problem when you're going through anything like this, when you've got unexpected news, when you're pregnant and they do a test and you get, because we've been through this, you're terrified, you're scared, you don't know what's going to happen. You imagine all the worst possible outcomes that there could ever be. And sometimes life just doesn't work out like that. And even when it doesn't go down the path you imagined, it may be a different path. And that may not necessarily be a bad thing. But the sad thing is, well, the less and less people have exposure to those that are disabled or less able now, the less they're going to be able to relate to it or prepare for it or realize it's not the end of the world. Anyway. Let me know your opinion on this one, guys. I reckon they should tell him. Honestly, he's old enough. 17, you're an adult. You should be adult anyway. Check out my other channels, Heise Bim and Heise Does, for other topics that I discuss. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.